here's something I found on I found this on YouTube, or excuse me, not on YouTube, on Twitter. I found this on Twitter, and I want you guys to. These are the young women coming out of college today that shame you for having a blue collar job, that shame you for wanting your First and Second Amendment, that shame you for wanting to do maybe something like being an electrician or a plumber or whatever. That you're not some college educated dweeb. These are the women that you meet in college. I'm just going to let this play through, and you'll see how ironic this is.
When you see a person with an American flag on their shirt, do you form any kind of opinion about them or no?
Yes, 100%. Yes, definitely.
And what is that?
Republican. Yeah, probably like a Trumpy. They'd be the only ones like brave enough to wear it in public.
Brave enough to wear the American flag in public?
Like proud to wear it.
Yeah. Wearing an American flag on their shirt, do you racist?
Yes. Yeah, it's very racist. Patriotic for me. I think it's like more of like a lot of people correlate it with like racism and stuff like that.
It could be someone that's super patriotic, and usually I think that it's a little too much.
Too much?
Too much.
I mean, like America, like I would just walk away.
I mean, like F America. It's only the freest country in the world that allows me to wear an outfit like this, almost 2/3 of my body hanging out, and I can be overweight and make fun of everybody and maybe make a career and have a successful life, but F them, right? This woman I found the most annoying. This vapid airhead that's never going anywhere in her life. Like F them.
I mean, like America, like I would just walk away. We come from Kansas, so we are around that a lot.
So you guys are around a lot of American flags?
Yeah.
Oh, and this is what just blows me away. Loving, and it tells you the indoctrination in the schools is working. Loving your country, wearing the symbol of freedom, of being an American, is now viewed as racist. It's now viewed as being a Trumper, as being Republican. That's how far the Democrat Party has fallen, where they've pushed against our own country and our own flag so much that if you love this country, you must be a Republican racist. That shows you how dim-witted and little these people, and I guarantee you, every one of these girls went to college. Guarantee you. Call it. So when you guys, and you know what, when I see something like this, you know what it makes me want to do? You guys probably can't see it on camera. Let me just lean back a second. I have an American flag hanging right here, right next to me. I have an American flag. The flag that was up on my wall behind me in the other office. I just hung it over there. I tried to stretch it across the video frame behind me, but I couldn't get it even. And if I bumped the camera, it looked wonky. And I'm like, okay, that'll be a distraction for everybody. I still have an American flag hung right behind me. When I see these idiots saying stuff like that, you know what it makes me want to do? Buy more flag merchandise. I want you to stay as far away from me as you possibly can. Because if you think that we're on opposite sides of the fence because I love my country and my freedom, you can just get away with me or get away from me. And you know, the thing that's important here, guys, is that understand that the culture battle is escalated. It used to be men calling out women. But now, and I'll get into this at the end of this a little bit, but they're coming, if you are a freedom-loving, free-thinking person, they're coming for you with a baseball bat tied to a 87,000 IRS agents, let me tell you. Okay. So we talk about OF and OnlyFans and this stuff. This is again, just from like a day or two ago. It appears that the company OF bribed Meta, which is former Facebook, bribed Meta to put thousands of spicy workers on the bad watch list, on a terry cloth watch list. I can't say this word on YouTube, and I want to put these on YouTube. So please, those of you on locals, understand why I'm mincing my words a little bit, because otherwise I have to go through and I have to edit the living hell out of this. So OnlyFans bribed Facebook to say any spicy workers that are not on our website, put them on a bad list so that when you do a search for this kind of content, it inevitably points you back to OF. I mean, this is a pretty big bombshell if it's true. They say OF, let me see, squeeze this up so you guys can see it. OF squashed competitors in the online industry with the help of a bizarre scheme that bribed Meta employees to throw thousands of these spicy workers onto the bad watch list, according to a group of explosive lawsuits. These spicy performers who sold spicy photos and videos on rival sites saw their Instagram accounts falsely tagged as containing the bad stuff. And when I mean the bad stuff, like the boom, boom, pow, pow, bad guys content, crippling their ability to promote their business and devastating their incomes. I'd feel bad for them, but you know something, when you do this kind of work, I don't feel bad for you. Sellers of smutty pictures were then shadow banned across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and other sites. The suits allege targeted accounts also include businesses, celebrities, influencers, and others who have nothing to do with the bad stuff, according to the suits. When I heard that my content may be listed on this watch list, I was outraged. Alana Evans, one of these the workers of the night, and one of the plaintiffs in the California suit alongside Kelly Pierce and others told the Post. I was angry because it affected my income when my social media traffic dropped significantly, and I was angry because I'm the daughter of a veteran who fought for this country. I'm sure your father is proud. I'm glad that's what he fought for in this country. She looked like a man. Evans and others were allegedly placed in a database of bad people and accounts run by the Global Internet Forum to Counter Terrorists, or GIFCT, a nonprofit group intended to stop the spread of bad videos. After these performers who use rival sites allegedly had their names added to this list, traffic to the rival sites drastically fell. Well, I'll tell you something. And I could keep reading on, but you guys get the point. That basically, if they weren't part of the OF, they were able, and you can find this if you want to do a search on it. It's kind of an interesting read. But when you do this kind of work, and you put your belief and your trust and your belief and your trust into the government and or big tech nowadays, you're cruising for a bruising. Even if you say, oh, I support all the things. Well, if you don't support it for the right company, it doesn't mean that they won't get rid of you. You better, and what do you think happens? Look, right now, our media lies about everything. Our media just straight up lies about stuff now. And when they get caught, they're like, nah, we're not going to post a correction. So do you think that there's going to be some backroom deals and some bribes going on to make sure that one content creator or one company does better than another? Of course they will. Of course they will. Don't think that it's not coming. I'm telling you guys. Things are just going to get worse. And what amazes me is there are people that are, I mean, here's a good example of this. Instagram or Twitter just came out and said, oh, we're opening a civic integrity. We're preparing for the next elections. We're going to elevate credible material and remove material that we say is misinformation. What's credible? I mean, if you guys have been paying attention to the news, there's a whole lot over the last year or two that if you said you got removed from social media, and then a year or two later they go, oops, turns out it was actually right. Well, they're going to silence you. And I'm not going to get way deep into this right now because what's the point? But I mean, Twitter is good if you want to go look at some memes or maybe find some links to the story like I do. But I jumped on Twitter. I said, you know what? After all this time, I'm going to jump on Twitter. And I, as like a user, and you know what I found? Twitter is an awful place. People yell at bots all day long and people screaming at each other over stuff. And here they're saying, oh, we're going to have civic integrity and we're going to have moments where to help people discover credible information. So they're going to push certain content to you and not let you find other content. Okay, that's basically at this point, you're just Pravda. You're just part of the establishment now. This is this is becoming a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party. They're going to talk about voter information and pre-bunking prompts and candidate labels. We're going to label certain candidates, and we're going to monitor and contextualize certain things, which means that they're going to add the warning fact checkers say. And who are these fact checkers? People that want to push a certain narrative. And this is why I love locals so much, because YouTube started doing the same thing. Twitter's doing it. Every place is doing it. That's why I find it is so vital, and why this community, I think, is thriving and surviving so well. Because you guys are putting links to a lot. And you know what? Some of it may be misinformation. Some of it may be BS. But at least allow us to share it. Allow us to maybe talk about it. And what I like is if somebody posts a link to something, hey, there's other links. Somebody points to a link that goes over here. And yes, it tends to be either free thinkers or conservatives that kind of pool up here, or maybe anarcho-capitalists, or maybe anarchists, or maybe, we have a whole bunch of different people under the umbrella here at Locals. You know who doesn't hang out here? Leftists. Because they are just keyed in to what the mainstream narrative is spoon feeding them. And if there's the guessing if it's biased is gone. They're straight up like, oh, we should give Joe Biden a break. Inflation is not his fault, but also gas prices go up 20 cents. Donald Trump it's his fault because he hates Mexicans. It's like, what? Quit making me, take one side. I want two wings. Stop doing this. But you just can't trust social media anymore.